In recent years, the idealized, romanticized picture of Columbus has begun to be reconsidered. The evidence for this revised view comes mainly from Bartolomé de las Casas, who was a contemporary of Columbus and who himself witnessed the scenes on Hispaniola, which he describes in the following passages.
The Indies were discovered in the year 1492. 49 years have passed since the first settlers penetrated the land, the first being the large and most happy isle called Hispaniola, perhaps the most densely populated place in the world. There must be close to 200 leagues of land, and all discovered was a beehive of people, as though God had crowded into these lands the vast majority of mankind. And of all the infinite universe of humanity, these people are the most guileless, the most devoid of wickedness and duplicity, the most obedient and faithful to their native masters and to the Spanish Christians whom they serve. And because they are so weak and complaisant, they are less able to endure heavy labor and soon die of no matter what malady. They are also a poor people, for they not only possess little, but have no desire to possess worldly goods. They are generally naked, with only their pudenda covered somewhat, and sleep on a kind of matting or else in a suspended net called hamacas. They are very clean in their persons, with alert, intelligent minds, docile, and open to doctrine, very apt to receive our holy Catholic faith, to be endowed with virtuous customs and behave in a godly fashion. Yet, into this sheepfold, into this land of meek outcasts, there came some Spaniards who behaved like ravening wild beasts, like wolves, tigers, or lions that had been starving for many days, and to such a degree that this island of Hispaniola, having a population that I estimated to be more than 3 millions, has, after 40 years, a population of barely 200 persons. Their reason for killing such an infinite number of souls is that the Christians have an ultimate aim, which is to acquire gold and to swell themselves with riches in a very brief time and thus rise to a high estate disproportionate to their merits. These lands are so rich and felicitous, the native people so meek and patient, so easy to subject, that our Spaniards have no more consideration to them than beasts. No, for thanks be to God, they have treated beasts with some respect. I should say, instead, like excrement on the public squares. The Indians began to seek ways to throw the Christians out of their lands and took up arms, but their weapons are very weak and of little service in offense and still less in defense. The Christians, with their horses and swords and pikes, began to carry out massacres and strange cruelties amongst them, and spared neither the children nor the aged, nor pregnant women, nor women in childbed, not only stabbing and dismembering them, but cutting them to pieces, as if dealing with sheep in a slaughterhouse. They made low, wide gallows, on which the hanged victims' feet almost touched the ground, stringing them up in lots of 13, in memory of our Redeemer and his 12 apostles, then setting burning wood at their feet, and thus burn them alive. When tied to the stake, a very important noble, the cacique Hatue, was told by a Franciscan friar about the God of the Christians and the articles of faith, and what he could do in the brief time that remained to him in order to be saved and go to heaven. The cacique was told if he did not adopt the Christian faith, he would go to the inferno, where he would suffer eternal torment. He asked the friar if Christians, on the other hand, went to heaven. When told that they did, he said he would prefer to go to hell.